And hello, Shock fans, your beloved soldier of the inverted cross, back for another video. This is going to be a special one, and let me go ahead now to say I did get a webcam, and it's on a very long cable, and I can probably show my collection off now at different times. And what this video is going to be that I'm doing is, I hate mirror effect. I don't know why I always reach for the wrong thing, but anyway, what I'm going to be doing here is going to be a top 10 Transformers video in honor of the new movie coming out and the fact that I got the new camera. So yeah, first off, this is my opinion, so don't put in the comments below you didn't pick this character, you didn't pick this toy, because this is my opinion, and it's like an asshole. Everyone has an opinion, and if you don't like it, then you're being an asshole, because your opinion is like an asshole. But anyway, the rules are going to be simple. It's going to be Deluxe, Voyager, and Ultra Class, because I like Ultra Class. I won't be doing Leader, and I can't use the same mold twice, even though it's a different character. It has to be my favorite version of the mold. So, and there'll be honorable mentions. So, I hope you guys are ready. I might kick back and enjoy the show, because here we go. And here we are with number 10. So coming in at number 10 will be Transformers Energon, Ultra Class. Pretty sure this was Ultra Class. 6-shot. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, the Shock Blast mode version was better, the colors. Well, the thing is, basically, that my definitive Shockwave is the Beast Hunters Transformers Prime Shockwave, and this guy goes into my main collection very well then. And I love the size of it. And I know, like, it's got great articulation. I've done a review for this, I'm pretty sure it's up. But I mean, it does have decent articulation. You can get him in some poses. The only really issue that most people have, and I kind of have it with it, is this arm should have had an elbow joint or something. But I'm over that because it just looks badass. The head sculpt, the paint job, just everything was nice about it. The only flaw this mold had was this waist joint was held on by a pin. The whole waist was supported by a pin, and it would eventually snap and break. So I glued it in place, because basically he transforms into crappy modes anyway. And I would definitely say pick this guy up, or Shock Blast if you're a Shockwave fan, which I am, and I have it. I just prefer this one for some odd reason. He was definitely one of my favorite Energon toys. I love this figure. The detail, the paint. Hasbro doesn't seem to put anything out with that much paint on it nowadays. I'm trying to block this sun out so it doesn't throw a glare. And there. But yeah, you're probably not going to see figures this cool anymore. I mean, there are some awesome figures. BotCon had some great stuff. But this guy, I missed the Ultra Class, and I'm hoping eventually Hasbro decides to bring it back, because they rocked. And this guy, definitely one of my top 10 easily. So now, hope you guys like this one. We're moving on to number 9. And here we are at number 9. Coming in this spot is a Deluxe Class, and I'm probably going to catch a lot of crap for this one. I like it, and most people are going to hate it. Not that it's a bad figure, just what it is. Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Crankcase. Now, I know everybody's saying, why did he put dreadlocks on the Decepticons and hair on them? But here's the thing. This thing is pretty much based off Predator. Now, anybody that knows me pretty much knows my favorite things in the world as far as these things like this. Transformers is my #1 franchise that I love. Predator and Killer Instinct are my other two. Volgor's a robot based off Predator. That's awesome. This guy's got dreadlocks like Predator. And the next thing I love, I think it was number 3, would be the Mega Man series. So yeah, this thing kind of just, it's a robot, dreadlocks based off Predator, and it's a Decepticon. I like it. If you don't, that's your problem. I actually did a custom with remove the dreadlocks and gave him both the guns, but I wanted to show the original. And the articulation's great on this guy. I would highly recommend it. Just the detail, the sculpt. It was a nice figure. It was one of the better figures to me Dark of the Moon had to offer. I mean, it's just it's a shame that they didn't release Crowbar, because I would have loved to have a Crowbar, maybe a Voyager, or one that was transforms a bit like the older Lockdown figures that were taller. When you transform them, they just like got taller instead of wider, and that would have been pretty cool to see a Crowbar like that. But yeah, I like Crankcase, and I really couldn't care less if people don't like him. I don't really hate the Bayformers. I'm not one of these people who is like, oh, they're not accurate to G1. Guess what? Nothing has been accurate to G1. No series has been accurate to G1. Now, I will say the story for the movies, I'm not a big fan of them. But as far as the drastic change to character design, guess what? Beast Wars drastically changed them. Energon drastically changed them. The whole Unicron trilogy, I mean, everything in that. War for Cybertron based them a bit off G1, but nothing is going to be the exact same every time. They're not going to market every single show with a character to have the exact same look, because they would never sell toys that way. They have to look different. I love G1, but don't be an asshole. I mean, really, if we lift it to all the like G1 obsessed fans, we wouldn't even have Transformers now. It would have stopped the year it began. I've known G1 fans who are like, I don't even like the Transformers after the movie. And the 84 movie. But, yeah, enough ranting on G1ers. No offense if you like G1, because I love G1. I'm just not offended by and appalled by everything that's made afterwards. So, yeah. This is number 9. And he came with the extra side of me ranting. So, yeah, this thing's awesome. Up yours if you don't like it. We're moving on to number 8. And number 8. Now, I've said it many of times. I love black repaints. It's one of those things you either love or hate. I like it. My favorite color is black, so it works very well. So here we are. Number 8. Fall of Cybertron Generations Voyager Class Sound Blaster. I love this thing. I was so shocked that Hasbro actually gave it to us. I was afraid I was going to have to Takara import this dude. He's got great articulation, a great weapon. He's big, he's tough, and the world needs more black repaints. He is one of the best Voyagers that they've done in a while. I mean, the gimmick is meh, but it doesn't intrude onto anything. And I pre-ordered this guy, I think. I pre-ordered him and Soundwave when they came out. And they were definitely worth the money. And you have no idea how much glasses suck at times. But anyways, he's just awesome. The face sculpt, so G1. And this is one of those situations like where G1 matters, because Fall of Cybertron was awesome. This is how the G1 toys, these are close enough to G1 that they look awesome. And you can recognize the character. I wish they would have done a deluxe class of this guy. It would have been awesome. But yeah, this one's definitely worth the pickup. I will say most of the Generations Voyagers this time around are pretty good. I mean, I have Springer. He's one of the best. Blitzwing, once you do the repairs, is pretty decent. And I think that they're coming out with Skybite and Roadbuster. Whirl's pretty awesome. I mean, there's just, I know, Rhinox. I mean, they've really put a lot of work into these guys. I'm really looking forward to getting Brainstorm when he comes out, because he looked awesome at BotCon. So yeah, this guy is very cool, and definitely, if you don't even collect Transformers, this guy just looks awesome. So this has been number 8. We're moving on to number 7. Number 7. Now this one's flat out awesome, and it should be higher on the list if I didn't have even figures I like even more. Number 7 is from War for Cybertron, Transformers Generations Deluxe Class, War for Cybertron Megatron, or Cybertronian Megatron. Okay, when I first saw the Megatron design, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then when I got the game and played the first Decepticon mission, I was like, okay, please put this in plastic. And they did. It is a thing of beauty. I wish this was a Voyager. I wish some KO company would upscale this to a leader class, like they did with the Optimus Prime figure. Maybe they have. If so, let me know. I definitely want one. The articulation's great on him. Detail, the head sculpt, just everything. This thing's spot on to the game. It's just awesome. Now, he runs pretty high on eBay nowadays, sadly. But he's kind of worth it. I mean, he's not worth like 50 or 60 bucks, but he's definitely worth 40 to me. And he's a pretty decent size. He's a pretty big figure. I mean, he's not like the most... I mean, he's not like the largest deluxe they've ever made, but he is pretty epic. And I'll probably close my curtains on the next part for you guys. I would definitely say of the ones they made, I don't have Bumblebee or Optimus. I have Soundwave. I still say the Megatron is the best figure they did. It's just beautifully done, beautifully painted, and definitely my favorite that they've done. Now, hold on tight because we're going to be moving to number 6. Number 6. Now, this is another black repaint, guys. You can always see who it is probably by just that one piece of detail. That guy would have been way higher on my list, but I have so many more great figures to show, and I'm really lucky to have this. Universe Nemesis Prime, the woolly mammoth one. Yay! Now the sword he's holding is a custom, but I actually scored this guy. I won't even lie. I paid $70 for this dude. That was with shipping and everything, because I didn't get it when it came out because I wasn't collecting at the time. I don't think, but it's worth it. This thing was an ultra class, and it had a ton of kibble, but it's on ball joints, so you can pop it off, and it looks great like this. It's just one of my all-time favorites. He's on my display as the traditional Ultra Magnus. The guns he's holding are from Sky Shadow Generations. And he's going to run you a ton on eBay now. But I would say he's worth easily $100. I love this figure. I love black repaints. I love Nemesis Prime. And the fact that he has the freaking... wrong list. I keep trying to... Oh, there we go. The dead Matrix in there is awesome. He can hold that and it comes out. He looks great with these weapons, and if you remove the kibble, I mean, he's bigger than most Voyager Primes, so it just looks like a badass. He's proper badass, as he should be, and I love this thing. The paint, it's just, once you remove the kibble, like I said, it's just a thing of beauty. Leave the elephant horns with the blood running down the tusk. This is metal, guys. This is so freaking metal. Now, let's move on to, we're going to go to the next, and that will be the top 5. The chalk and roll, dudes. Ooh, it's going down to the wire, and now we're in the top 5. For those of you who don't know it, I love Transformers Prime. It was like my definitive collections or whatever, and I really hate these glasses. There. There was 2 characters on the show that I really liked, and I'm glad they both got toys. I'm picking, and the reason I like these is because these guys remind me a bit of myself as far as like the way they carried themselves. They both had they were extremely loyal to the cause, and they carried themselves with great honor, and one more than the other. But either version of this mold, I like the Skyquake version better simply because they fixed the head about being able to move better. I love the mold. You guys can boo all you want and say that the shoulders are a bit weird, but they're fine. They're just different from the others. They function just the same. And Skyquake, another reason I picked him is because he's a rare figure. He's the hard man out to find nowadays. I did finally get him for a decent price. And he looks great. The backpack is supposed to be there since that's how it was in the show. It's just a shame that he didn't come with his giant Team Fortress 2 heavy gat gun. I love this figure, and he looks so cool just standing on the shelf with the other jets because he's bigger. And see, there's not a lot of jets on this list as far as like my top 10 because I like ground troops because the car dudes are more like having to fight where they go. These guys just transform and fly there for the most part. Now I know they're, dog fights in the air, but this dude was a juggernaut pretty much. He just transformed, got on the ground, and started fighting. He was awesome. I mean, he was so cool that Megatron was even like, I need you to assassinate Optimus Prime. That is awesome. This guy is awesome, and you need some version of this toy. This one or Dreadwing. It's awesome. Voyager. It's a Voyager. Yeah, I love Voyagers. Okay. Now that I'm done fanboying over Skyquake, well, I squash you like a bug. Okay, now we're moving on to number 4. Number 4. Now this one, it's another black repaint. You knew it. Transformers Prime. This was a TAR exclusive. Voyager Silas breakdown. He's holding Wild Rider's gun, also from that line. This thing is the best Voyager Prime had to offer. I'll go ahead and say it. I know that I love the Skyquake mold, but this dude just looks like he's going to come barreling, stupid chrome, barreling through, stomping Autobot skulls, and it's just awesome. I don't even consider this guy Silas. Screw the human, Silas. Screw the stupid human. This thing is breakdown after he got his brains beaten out of him, and he's back. That's what this is to me. And don't tell me otherwise. He's awesome. He's badass. He's big, bulky. He looks great with the Viacons just rushing everybody. And you should import this. Not the Autobot version, which is okay if you couldn't get this guy. But this guy runs pretty decently priced now. He is definitely worth it. He's worth every penny. I love this thing. It's one of my... It probably is my favorite Prime toy, or very close to being my favorite Prime toy. And just the attention to detail, no kibble, everything just like it was on the show. I love it. Let's move on before I jizz or something. Let's move on to the next one, and that will be number 3. Number 3. Now, there's an important thing to think about when you're doing a thing a bit like the Clone Troopers and stuff, when you're making characters that are easy to army build. You don't want it to be, because it can be your selling point, you see. If you make it crappy, no one's going to buy it. But if you make it really good, people are going to buy and army build it. Which is why number 3 is Transformers Prime, the Deluxe Viacon, not the first edition. I have 5 of these, a 6th one in the mail. I'm going to keep getting these things. Also, he's holding custom lightsabers I made for him with purple blades I painted. The mold's great. It's superposable. I love having them on the shelf. They look great. They look tough. I just love having a bunch of them around a Decepticon commander. They're just that awesome. And they actually, the number 3 spot was between this guy and the Wheeljack mold. Sorry, I love that mold so much, but it's going to have to be in the honorable mentions, because number 2 and number 3, this is number 3. Number 2 and number 1 I've already decided who they're going to be. So, yeah, the Viacon is definitely worth the army build. I love it. It's superposable. It looks imposing, and there's nothing like having a bunch of these guys just on the shelf ready to kick some ass. So, we're going to be moving on to number 2. And here we are at number 2. Sorry, I had to do that. Number 2 is a really, really cool figure. One of the last not the last well-engineered one, just for what he does. He was definitely the best. He's a Transformers Animated Shockwave. I renamed this guy Anubis since he's green, and I wanted him into my main display. And I just do this. Just give him eyes. So it looks like, and that's a battle mask. This guy is superposable, and he has 4 modes. 2 different robots, and 2 different vehicles. Now, they're similar to each other, but just the posability is really good. The look is really good. It's extremely show accurate. And this guy is beat out a couple of other characters I wanted to put at this spot. And he's I don't think he runs too expensive on eBay. He's definitely worth your pickup. He's just really cool and really scary looking on the shelf, and he can assume so many poses. I just love having him like holding the barrel of his gun, like contemplating who he's going to tear to pieces next. This dude is, yeah, he's even cooler if you don't think of him as Shockwave. If you just think of him as some loose cannon, or I mean, as I think of him as a Decepticon general, like Megatron's like right hand man. Like basically, he would be doing Starscream's job except not being a wimp. He wouldn't be like a coward. He would be leading the military, and he would be on the front lines blowing some Autobot brains out along with the Viacons. So yeah, before we stop at number one, we're gonna have a little thing in between this with a couple honorable mentions of guys I really should have put on this list, but I just love these figures. I'm doing so much better. See you there. Let's rock. And before we go to number one, we're going to do a few honorable mentions. The Prime First Edition Seeker Mold. This one's the Skywarp version. It's awesome. It really is. And if I would have done a top 15, these guys would have definitely been there. And they're awesome. The next, another great figure since I love car formers. These are the Takara versions. Frenzy, the red one, and Rumble. I removed the arm cable, and they just look awesome. They're great little posable figures, and they look cool running around the shelf with the other figures. Let me get the others. Now, this figure definitely would have cracked the top 10 if it hadn't been for the fact that I had to remove kibble permanently that won't allow it to transform. And that's the Smokescreen mold. I repainted this Prowl version as Barricade. And it's really awesome once you remove the arm kibble, but I couldn't put it in because now I had to neuter the transformation. Next. I should have put these things on the bed with me when I was filming and not put them on the floor. But that's okay. Next, the mold I mentioned already. The Wheeljack mold, my favorite version is this one, Slicer. I gotta get used to this camera. That gun. And the version, he has Ironhide's cannons. This version is the Wild Rider version. I own all 5 versions. This mold's awesome, and it would have been there, but the Viacons beat it out. Next honorable mention is, it's getting crowded up here, another really cool figure. Hunt for this, Nest, I think, whatever. Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager Mind Wipe, really cool, really tough looking. This is what kept it out, this little weapon, this flaw that gets in the way sometimes, but it still doesn't make me hate the figure. It's still a really good figure. And the last honorable mention, if I can reach him, this figure, if he'd had just a bit more articulation, would have cracked my top 10 because I recently got him off eBay. I've wanted him for like 7 years. Energon, Ultra Class Scorponaut. He's massive and he looks really cool. He's just missing some articulation that I wish he would have had. So yeah, now that we're done with all these, we're going to be looking at number one. Also, I forgot another honorable mention would have been this guy, but he's a knockoff, so the original mold would have been on here. A KO Scourge Classics, because I love black repaints. I gave it a custom lightsaber. Painted the black on there. Yeah, this guy is really cool. If he wouldn't have been a KO, he would have been number 2 over Anubis. So, we're moving on to number 1. Sorry for the little delay. And here we are, number 1. Coming in at my number 1 spot on my top 10 favorite Transformers is... wrong. Yes. I like Derpy. Get over it. Number 1, the real one. It's not a pony, but it's something I like even more. It's a black repaint. Transformers. I'm pretty sure this was RID. Yeah, RID. Robots in Disguise. Scourge. It's the G2 Laser Prime mold, which was awesome. Painted black and teal. Suck it, Autobot fans. Inverted Autobot symbols. It's like a demon. Pink light piping. I know, I couldn't find the red one. Pink sword. But he's still, even with pink, he's still more badass than most Decepticons could ever dream of being. He's even posable for a figure of his time. He's just awesome. This thing from day one of collecting Transformers, I made it a thing. I was going to hunt this down, and I did, and I got it, and it's awesome. And it doesn't even go on my Transformers display. It's on my just figure display as you walk in, glaring through the door at you. And you need this figure. It's got so much articulation. It was the very first thing I reviewed. It's got waist, great arms joints, shoulder joints. The only thing it's literally missing for a figure from that about that far back is a swivel right here. It even has the knee bend. If it had one swivel in the knee or the thigh, it would be super articulated. And he doesn't even need it. He's still that cool. He's awesome. You need it. The world needs it. Beautiful. Awesome. Black repaint is cool. Derp. Kill the Autobots. Muffins. Kill the Autobots. Muffins. Eat the muffins. Make the Autobots into muffins. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little crazy top 10 I put together. And I hope you guys will keep subscribing now that I have a new camera. I can do so much more. This is your beloved soldier of the inverted cross signing off. Please like, subscribe, check out my Transformers reviews. I try to upload weekly. So, tell your friends, tell your mom, or I will. This is your beloved soldier of the inverted cross, Rip, the full-blown freak show, signing off. Farewell. Muffins.